talking to the two people in front of him. I can't see the scarf though. Get him up on his feet. Let me see the scarf. Go green. You do. Yep, see? I'm ready when you're ready.
Welcome to St. Luke's Episcopal Church. I'm Brenda Trombe, the music director here and the morning host on WXXI Classical, and I'm so happy that you came out today to hear this wonderful winter serenades. We're incredibly lucky to have my former colleague, Mike Lasser here, who's a respected author and expert on this important part of our American history, the Great American Songbook. I was walking around a little bit before, went out for a walk in the cold, and someone said, you know, we could make a snowball right now, and we could push it west. We could make it to Buffalo in time for the big game. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to sit inside a warm and beautiful place and listen to amazing music. So please, if you would, do us a favor and please silence your cell phone, anything you have that beeps. This would be a great time to unwrap your cough drop that's got, cellophane and tissue around it. If you need to use the restroom, just glide up this ramp, go up and hang a right. It's at the end of the hallway. And then after the program, we will have a meet and greet. If you have questions or you'd like to meet Mike Lasser in person and talk to our artists, it's going to be, again, right up the ramp, and we have a nice reception for you afterwards. So welcome and enjoy, and please join me in welcoming Jessica Best, Alan Jones, and Michael Lasser.
At any gambling casino from Monte Carlo to Reno, they tell you that a beginner comes out a winner.
Beginner fishing for flounder will catch a 17-pounder. That's what I've always heard and always found absurd, but now I believe every word.
For I've got beginner's luck. The first time that I'm in love with you. Gosh, I'm lucky.
I've got beginner's luck. There's never been such a smile or such eyes of blue. Gosh, I'm fortunate.
This thing we've begun is much more than a pastime.
This time is the one where the first time is the last time.
I've got beginner's luck, lucky through and through. 'Cause the first time that I'm in love with you. Gosh, I'm lucky.
Gosh, I'm fortunate.
This thing we've begun is much more than a pastime.
This time is the one where the first time is the last time.
I've got beginner's luck, lucky through and through. 'Cause the first
first time that I'm in love, I'm in love. The first time that I'm in love, I'm in love. The first time that I'm in love, I'm in love with you.
Good afternoon and welcome to an hour or so with George and Ira Gershwin. You know, there's no such thing as a Gershwin song or a Gershwin show. People use the term all the time, don't they? You hear Gershwin song. If you think it's a Gershwin song, I assume you have George in mind, and that means you only get to hum it. Because George wrote the music and Ira wrote the words. George wrote bum bum ba-dum bum bum, and Ira wrote I've Got Beginner's Luck. And together they made a new third thing, not music and not words. You know what that new third thing is called? Song, yes, a song. Good, thank you. They did indeed have beginner's luck. In 1924, they wrote their first show together for Broadway called Lady Be Good. It starred someone they worked with a number of times on Broadway, actually two people, Fred and Adele Astaire. When she married an English nobleman and said, "The hell with this," went to England to live, Fred went to see if he could make a living in Hollywood. Apparently he was successful. In the shows where they appeared together, they always played brother and sister because everybody knew they were brother and sister. They couldn't be lovers, obviously. They've just been evicted from their apartment. So with the youthful resilience we expect from the 1920s, they set up housekeeping on the sidewalk. This is the first song from that scene from George and Ira's first Broadway score, Hang On to Me.
Trouble may hound us, shadows surround us, never mind, my dear. Don't be downhearted when we get started, they will disappear.
Listen, my brother, while we've each other, there's no need to fear, for like Hansel and Gretel, we will prove our mettle. If you hang on to me while I hang on to you, we'll dance into the sunshine, out of the rain, forever and a day. Don't sigh, we'll get along. Just try humming the song, and my, soon we will hear the bluebird again. That's right, hold tight, we're on our way.
Uphill until we lose the shadow.
If you hang on to me while I hang on to you, we'll dance into the sunshine, out of the rain. That's right, hold tight, we're on our way.
Uphill until we lose the shadow.
If you hang on to me while I hang on to you, we'll dance into the sunshine, out of the rain.
Fred and Adele Astaire actually recorded that song in 1924. Alan, if you'll hang on to me, and then the next line, just the piano, I want them to hear what's between those two musical lines. If you'll hang on to me. Okay. Thank you. He didn't know I was going to do that. I do the things like that to him, and he may be saying something quite different, but in fact, he picks it up so easily. Anyway, those notes in between, if you'll hang on to me, dum-dum, when it's Adele's turn to sing the chorus, she sings, if you'll hang on to me, boop, boop, and every time there's a boop, boop in there. That isn't written in, that's just Adele doing it. Also, I want to apologize for my hoarse voice. I didn't realize how hoarse it was till I got out here. But if you can hear me in your game, I'm certainly game. Within 10 years of George's death in 1937, he had become the great mythic figure of American music. He was the embodiment of the democratic ideal. He was the child of immigrant parents, poor. He was a self-taught, self-made man. He was financially successful. He was famous. He wrote popular and classical music, and he was known throughout the Western world. He also had the good fortune to die young. It sounds like a crass thing to say, but if you want to be a legend, what better way than to achieve so much and then die young? You may not realize it, you may not continue to grow, but the legend certainly does. He went on, George did, to set the city streets to music. His style, especially in the 20s and 30s, was the work of someone always on the move, and George was. He was a man about town. He was an eligible bachelor who never married. You know what that means, to be a man about town? I know I'm in church, but means he got a lot of sex. He was a love 'em and leave 'em type, never committed to himself to any one woman. Although he did have a great love affair with one woman, Kay Swift, who was a composer. She's best known for the song Fine and Dandy, which some of you may know. Everything's fine and dandy, sugar candy when I'm with you. Anybody know that song? Poor Kate. The Gershwins brothers were born and bred in New York, and there was very much a city sensibility, even a New York sensibility, to what they wrote. When George went to a party, he expected to be asked to play, and he would never get up so anyone else could play. If no one invited him, he would muscle his way in. He loved to show off what he'd written. He plays a pivotal role in the creation of the distinctive American popular song. He brings the rhythms of jazz from Harlem to Broadway. Here are Oh Gee Oh Joy and Naughty Baby.
Yay, Bo, but isn't love great? Gee whiz.
Hi-ho, I'm willing to state it is. Don't know who the chap was who first began it, but it's the only everything on this planet. Oh, gee, oh, joy, the birds are singing. Because why? Because I am in love. Oh, gee, oh, joy, the bells are ringing. Because why? Because I am in love. And all the while I sing in a dream, I never was so happy.
Folks complain I'm insane because I act so sappy. Oh, gee, oh, joy, the birds are singing. Because why? Because I am in love.
If you want a girl who's sentimental, one who'll never put you in a whirl, one who will always be sweet and gentle, I am not that sort of girl. But if you prefer a rather swift one, if you think you'd like to run around with a bright one, I am just the right one. Naughty baby, who'll tease you? I can show the way and know the way to please you. If you're wanting a beginner, I shan't do. I can make the world a sinner when I want to. If you find the simple kind are rather slow, dear, then you ought to try a naughty one, you know, dear. But you'll never meet another who will be a naughty baby, just like me.
Now, we've done 4 songs so far. One of the things I always like to do in programs, when I put these things together, I think of it consciously. I try to mix songs that you will all know and enjoy hearing again with songs you've never heard of before. Has any of you, just by raising your hands, heard a song you are unfamiliar with? You've all heard of a couple of you. Good, okay. My work has succeeded. That's good to know. Thank you. The Gershwins collaborated for only 14 years, from 24 to 37. George died. They wrote the songs that embodied the world they lived in, New York in the 20s and 30s. At that time, it began earlier, but continued through the 30s. The war got in its way. Everybody wanted to live in New York. You know, America's had a love-hate relationship with New York almost from the day Henry Hudson sailed up the unnamed river, or the river that he gave his name to. And there are times we've loved it, times we've hated it, times when hundreds of thousands of people walked around saying it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. I am one of those who think, I don't want to visit, I really do want to live there. I was raised in its shadow, and it's always felt like home to me. So I get what the Gershwins are doing. They are, as I said, creating this sensibility. Americans started coming to New York from the South and Midwest, in substantial numbers in the 1880s. And of course, the immigrants were coming across the ocean. And they redefined America by sitting in New York. There were trains to spread the word. Before the trains, there was the canal. Although that really lasted a short time because the trains followed it very quickly. But there are these songs that may or may not be about the city, but feel like a city, especially New York. They were quirky and fragmented in rhythm. They were assertive and urbane in attitude. They were youthful and optimistic in outlook. They may not have been New York, but they catch the feel and spirit of New York, as well as any songwriter ever did. I got rhythm, fascinating rhythm, and one that is actually about New York, sweet and low down.
Days may be sunny, with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy.
Birds in the trees sing their day full of sun. Why couldn't we sing along?
I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot.
How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more.
I got daisies in green pastures. Well, I got my gal who could ask for anything more.
Old man trouble, I won't find him. You won't find him round my door.
I got starlight, I got sweet dreams.
I got my love who could ask for anything more. Who could ask for
anything more.
Fascinating rhythm, you've got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I'm all a quiver.
What a mess you're making, the neighbors want to know why I'm always shaking just like a flivver.
Each morning I get up with the sun,
up with the sun,
with the sun now,
to find at night no work has been done.
But I know that once it didn't matter, but now you're doing wrong. When you start to patter, I'm so unhappy. Won't you take the day off, decide to run along somewhere far away off and make it snappy? Oh, how I long to be the one that I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, stop picking on me. There's a cabaret in this city I would recommend to you. Peps you up like electricity when the band is blowing blue. They play nothing classic, oh no, down there. They crave nothing else but the low down there. If you need a tonic and the need is chronic, if you're in a crisis, my advice is grab a cab and go down to where the band is playing, where milk and honey flow down, where everyone is saying blow that sweet and low down. Busy as a beaver, you'll dance until you totter. You're sure to get the fever, for nothing will be harder. Blow that sweet and low down. Philosopher and deacon, you simply have to weaken. Hear those shuffling feet. You can keep your beat. Professor, start your beat. Come along, get in it. You'll love the syncopation the minute they begin it. You're shouting to the nation, blow that sweet and low down.
Jess and Alan's singing and playing is so musical that I have to do what I can to contribute to it. I don't play anything, but I can wear socks. That said, let me tell you that I have worked with Alan for about 25 years. And then we started working with Jess about 4 years ago, although it feels in the best sense like much more than that. I throw them some offbeat stuff, and rather than saying what in God's name is this, they say, let's see what we can do with it. They are open, they are responsive, they are inventive. Alan does a lot of our arrangements. Would you please acknowledge two splendid performers and my friends, Jessica Ann Best and Alan Jones. When George and Ira wrote, they sat either together on the piano bench or Ira at a card table right next to the piano. Scraps of melody would pour out of George until Ira would say, I think I might be able to do something with that one. He might ask George to add a note to fill out a line to give him a certain rhythm for the words. George might listen and suggest a word that Ira could use, and Ira would decide yes or no. So that even though George was in charge of the music and Ira was in charge of the words, they really did work together. George was the dazzler. Ira, who was quite content in Hollywood to sit by his pool and play tennis. He once said that he would not have done half as much work as he did if George had not been so ambitious. He was a lazy guy who loved his life. And he was married to Lenore, whom he loved, even if no one else did. She was a difficult woman. But Ira the craftsman. Oh, these songs sound effortless, don't they? They sound spontaneous. His lyricist friends called Ira the jeweler. because he would craft and craft and craft. And I'm going to boast. A friend and I have a new book coming out in the summer called Say It With a Beautiful Song, The Art and Craft of the Great American Songbook. And if you want to buy a copy, that would be lovely. But what I really would like, if you would buy a copy for Christmas for everyone you ever knew, and we'll take it from there. Ira's lyrics were more complex and more purposeful than the random quality of conversation. But like all good lyricists, his lyrics were rooted in everyday American talk. Oh, gee, oh, joy. Hang on to me. That's talk, isn't it? But somehow lifted with George's help. It's a song. They obviously had to rhyme, and they had to fit the music, but they needed to keep their own music. You know, language has its own music. It has its own rhythms. Listen to what I just said. It has its own rhythms. It has its own rhythms. I've just changed the music. See? It has its own rhythms. Here, I keep changing the music. And then I have to set that to somebody else's music without losing it. Johnny Mercer once said, composers are more talented, but lyricists are more courageous, which I like. I like that one. Ira also hated the cliches of so many popular songs. He made fun of them. He knew he had to write love songs, but he would do almost anything to avoid coming out and saying, I love you. I have a book of the complete lyrics of Ira Gershwin. I will be happy to let you borrow it, and see if you can find one instant. Now, he talks about love, obviously, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. One of the greatest of our songs. But he never says, I love you. One of the problems with using the word love in English, think about the words that rhyme with love. Of, above, shove, glove. It's not promising. As opposed to amour. In French, there are dozens and dozens of words. And so love is rarely a rhyme word in English song. Oscar Hammerstein pulled it off in People Will Say We're in Love. You know the song from Oklahoma, Don't Throw Bouquets at Me. He writes, if I can remember the lines, give me your rose and your glove, tokens. Sweetheart, they're suspecting things. People will say we're in love. Love. He manages it. Anyway, cliches are important in popular music, even though I just said they try to avoid them, because everybody understands them, and they're quick, they're brief. What the good songwriters do, what the great songwriters do, like Ira, lyricists, they reinvent them, they reimagine them, they reanimate them, so that a tired cliche finds new life, and thus gives new life to everyday American talk. Blah, 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 and by Strauss.
I've written you a song, a beautiful routine. I hope you like it. My technique can't be wrong. I learned it from the screen. I hope you like it. I studied all the rhymes that all the lovers sing. And just for you I wrote this little thing. Blah, 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 moon. Blah, 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 above. Blah, 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 croon. Blah, 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 love. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, merry month of May. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, 'neath the clouds of gray. Blah, 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 your hair. Blah, 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 your eyes. Blah, 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 care. Blah, 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 skies. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, cottage for two. Blah, 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 darling, with you.
You know what I love in that song, Festival? And Gershwin keeps pounding on tin. I love it. It's brilliant lyric writing. It's absolutely brilliant. In the 1926 show, OK, Gertrude Lawrence introduced the song, Someone to Watch Over Me. She sat alone in the corner of a sofa on stage to sing George and Ira's ballad for a woman, a young woman, who sees everyone around her falling in love, but she doesn't have anyone. She's confident she will someday, but she doesn't yet. At the dress rehearsal, on a whim, just before she went on stage to sing it, George handed her a small teddy bear to sing it to. It transformed the song. She took it on stage, she sang it to the stuffed teddy, and at every one of the show's performances. Here are songs you definitely know. Someone to Watch Over Me, They Can't Take That Away From Me, and The Man That Got Away.
There's a saying old, says that love is blind. Still I'm often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm gonna seek a certain lad I've had in mind. Looking everywhere, haven't found him yet. He's the big affair I cannot forget. Only man I ever think of with regret. I'd like to add his initials to my monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that he turns out to be someone who'll watch over me. I'm a little lamb who's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good to one who watch over me. Although he may not be the man some girls think of as handsome, to my heart he carries the key. Won't you tell him please to put on some speed? Follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone to watch over me.
your hat, the way you sip your tea. Memory of all that, no, no, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, no, they can't take that away from me. We may never, never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always, always be the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away. No, they can't take that away from me.
The night is bitter. The stars have lost their glitter. The winds grow colder, and suddenly you're older. And all because of the man that got away. Won you has run off and undone you. That great beginning has seen the final inning. Don't know what happened. It's all a crazy game. It's rougher, it's longer and tougher. With hope you burn up. Tomorrow he may turn up. There's just no let up. The live long night and day. Ever since this world began, there is nothing sadder than a one-man woman looking for the man that that got away. The man that
Before we wrap it up, Jackie, is there time to tell a theater joke about the Gershwins? Sort of. Okay. Auditions for a new musical. Producer, director, composer, lyricist, sitting at a table. And the performers come in with their pictures and paperwork and do their song and leave. One woman comes in and somebody says, good morning, what do you plan to sing? And she says, George and Ira Gershwin's Let's Call the Whole Thing Off. Are you familiar with that song? You have to be for the joke to work. And she gives her music to the piano player, and she starts to sing. You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. And they stop her. And they say, thank you very much. We'll call you if we want you to come back for a second audition. Thank you, Miss Levine. And she says, it's Levine. It's my theater joke. Oh, you're going to Alan, what the hell? Play the last 3 or 4 notes of They Can't Take That Away From Me, what you did.
Oh.
That's known as the Count Basie ending, right?
Right.
Right. He had this incredible band, this driving band, and then at the end, he would always play that on the piano, one finger even. That was Count Basie. Anyway, no matter how youthful their songs might be, George and Ira Gershwin wrote songs for adults. These were not about puppy love or even adolescent love. A song begins, the more I read the papers, the less I comprehend. That's an adult talking. The world and all its capers and how it all must end. Capers in the middle of a romantic love song. Wow. That's a word that an adult and a reader would use. In time, the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. And then a kind of punchline, but our love is here to stay. What does an adolescent know about that? To close the program, love is here to stay.
The more I read the papers, the less I comprehend the world and all its capers, and how it all will end. Nothing seems to be lasting, but that isn't our affair. We have something permanent, I mean in the way we care.
It's very clear our love is here to stay.
but for but ever and a day. Gibraltar made some more. They're only made of clay, and they're passing fancies, and in time may go.
But oh my dear, our love is here to stay.
Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here. Our love is here. Our love is here to stay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us do one more for you. Just one. It doesn't matter what the songs by the Gershwins were about or where they were set. In the inventive rhythms of their melodies and their words, in the guise of love songs, they were New York. From the 1925 score to a lesser-known show called Tiptoes. This is a gentle, amusing, flirtatious song that's just sexy enough. It's called Nighty Night.
Nighty night, little girl, good night.
Nighty night, little boy, sleep tight.
A million sheep I'll count.
That's quite a big amount.
Will I sleep? No, I'll keep on pining.
All the night I'll be weeping like a willow.
All the night I'll be envying your pillow. Nighty night till the sun is shining. Goody, goody, good night. Sleep tight.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. You know what? This with your arm is easier than that.